They have 600 acres, right? So they're full now. They're just making new towers over there.
Definitely start to peter down in a year's time or so. However, by that time, that's what the conversation since today morning at the conference has been happening, as the technology companies also look at our towns.
ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ನಂತರ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಉದ್ಯೋಗಿಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಉದ್ಯೋಗದಾತರ ನಡುವೆ ಹಲವಾರು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾನೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈ ಭಾರತ 75 ವರ್ಷ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಬಂದ್ರೂ ಇನ್ನೂ ಈ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೋಗಲಾಡಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಸ್ಟಾಫಿಂಗ್ ಫೆಡರೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸುಚಿತಾ ದತ್ತ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಸುಚಿತಾ ದತ್ತ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಅವ್ರನ್ನೇ ಈ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಫೇಸಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್. What you are facing in private?
See, the biggest challenge which India itself as an economy has been facing is employment is primarily available in the informal side, and so much of employment is not available in the formal side. If you today look at it also after 75 years of independence, a majority of Indians, 83 to 85%, get their employment in informal. And when we say informal, what does it entail? It means there is no financial inclusion, there's no money coming into the bank account before 7th of the month, Payment of Wages Act and Minimum Wages Act is not met, insurances, EPFO, ESIC, Social Security, and these are not given. I think in the last couple of years, the focus of the government to formalize the economy, whether it is GST, whether it is demonetization, now the labor code, will immediately fill up India into providing jobs which a lot of Indians will be proud about. They will want to stay for the long term. And these would be the kind of jobs which would be sustainable over time, and they will create GDP growth at an individual level. It's great that India's GDP is growing, but is per capita GDP growing? I think that's
between contract employees and regular employees. What is the main big difference between those?
So permanent employees are those employees who directly get an identity card and an offer letter from directly a brand or a customer. Whereas in temporary staffing, what Indian Staffing Federation believes in is the tripartite employment opportunity, which means there's a customer who gives an order to a staffing company. Staffing company further gets a candidate who joins the staffing company. There is a three-way matching which happens. So there's a contract between staffing company and employer, principal employer, and there is a contract between the individual who's the candidate and the staffing company. So that is what we represent, tripartite staffing. Among ourselves, approximately 100 members are there. National companies, international companies, and small and medium enterprises. We represent 1.2 million workforce who are deployed with our customers every day.
I'm asking in quality of work, difference between permanent employees and temporary employees, quality of work.
Actually, I may be biased when I give this answer, but because I'm from the staffing industry. But let me tell you, a staffing employee actually puts more effort, energy, because many times the boys and girls who come to work with us, it is their first job. They've come from a small town or a village. They have gone to work with a Fortune 500 company, or they go to work with a large IT company, and because their education was not from an IIT or an IIM, in the normal course of things they would have not gone through the front door of the organization. So staffing companies are today providing job opportunities to youth, to these mega organizations, these large companies, in spite of the fact that they have not been to the IITs and the IIMs. And that way, they actually work even harder because they want to stay and sustain longer. And at some stage, they have a dream that they will get absorbed by the organization at a higher level, at a higher role.
So it's a last question, sir. After COVID or lockdown, what you are supported from?
Pramod, you want to talk about some of this?
What you are supported at the time of lockdown?
As ISF.
Okay, so I think if you look at organizations during the COVID time, I think a lot of us went back and said we want to upskill our talent. I think that is important because we did not know what's going to come post-COVID, and skills and roles and jobs and type of work which was required is changing. So that is where a lot of time and energy was spent, and that's what lifted and helping the workforce to sort of upgrade themselves. I think that's what Staffing Federation and staffing companies sort of have to give to the workforce.
Yes, thank you, sir.